Eyes open. Deep breath in. Hold it 1 second. Do not blink. Resist the temptation. I know your eyes are watering. Exhale all the way out. Empty your lungs. Close your eyes and leave them closed. At this point, you are merely going to listen to the sound of my voice as you breathe slowly and deeply, and allow yourself the opportunity to try and accept these suggestions of relaxation to completely envelop you. If you, in a moment, but not yet, when you hear me and me alone, count to 3, I will ask you to extend your hands out in front of you with your hands clasped together, interlacing your fingers. And you will find it, imagine yourself being a child who's holding on to the ribbon of a balloon with both hands tight, and you just don't want to let that ribbon go. And when you hear me and me alone, count to 3, you'll be able to see your hands out in front of you with the fingers clasped. And you will see that your hands will become clenched tighter and tighter and tighter. They're locking down. The harder you try to separate these hands, the more impossible it will be to separate them. Imagine this being your reality. The harder you try to separate them, the more impossible it will be. The harder you try. Rose, try and separate those hands. Can you separate those hands? Absolutely not. Those hands are going to drift down to your lap on the count of 3, and you're going to drift into a beautiful sleep. 1, 2, and 3. Rose, let the hands drift and just relax. Daphne, I want to see your hands up in front of you. Link the hands together nice and tight. It's impossible to release those, Daphne. Really try, but you can't. Daphne, when you hear me and me alone count to 3 and snap my fingers, your hands are going to drift into your lap. You're going to drift twice as deep into sleep. 1, 2, and 3. Daphne, just release and relax. Let your head drift forward. Sigal, Lewis, I want you to try this. Your hands are linked. Look at your hands. You'll see that you cannot separate them. The harder you try, the more impossible it will be to separate them. Sigal, Lewis, take a look. When you hear me and me alone, snap my fingers and count to 3. Those hands will drift into your lap, and you're going to drift twice as deep into this state of relaxation. 1, 2, and 3. Let the hands drift down. Your chin can rest forward. Give yourself that gift of relaxing. And so we're going to bring everybody up. On the count of 3, your eyes will open. You'll be able to look at me in the camera. And while you will feel completely relaxed, you'll have no sense of anything other than a few deep breathing exercises. When you hear me say sleep, your eyes will close, your head will rest forward, your body will melt into that chair, and you will take your mind immediately to this favorite and safe place. We're going to ask everybody to open eyes on the count of 1, 2, and 3. Eyes open, looking right at me. Let me see Rose. Good. I see Daphne. I see Sigal, and I see Lewis. Bob, I see you with me here. I have my Vignolas over here. You guys are excellent over here. How are you guys feeling right now? Sigal, Lewis, how are you guys feeling at this immediate moment?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Relaxed.
Yeah.
Good, good, good. Rose, you're feeling comfortable and relaxed? Good, good, good. Bob, how are you feeling right now?
I'm okay.
It's okay, just kind of a sense of kind of a distant watching and hearing. We're going to try something with everybody who's willing and able to try this. Watch me, ladies and gentlemen, and sleep down and deep. If this is your opportunity to experience it, now is the opportunity for you to see. One of the experiences that we have an opportunity to enjoy is a chance to try out, well, the 5 senses that we've experienced, right? And we know the 5 typical senses: the sense of sight, the sense of smell, the sense of taste, touch, sound. But there are other senses that we have, right? There's a sense of balance. There's a sense of humor. And so let's access one of our favorite senses, which is the sense of humor. Imagine a time when you had a case of the giggles. Now, ever since being a child, you remember when there was a time that you may have had the giggles and you didn't want to get caught. Maybe you were in church and you didn't want to get caught. Maybe you were in math class and you didn't want to get caught. But I want you to imagine a time, and I want you to imagine how wonderful it felt when that welling up of the giggles started to build inside you, that sense of satisfaction and that sense of fun. When you hear me and me alone count to 3 and snap my fingers, all of a sudden you're going to feel this uncontrollable sense of the giggles. 1, 2, and 3. I want you to feel that now, and I want it to start to rise up. And when you hear me and me alone snap my fingers and count to 3, it's going to get twice as funny. 1, 2, and 3, just like that. And you know that when we laugh, it releases endorphins. It feels wonderful. So I want you to experience this twice as powerful on the count of 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. Enjoy this every bit. Louis, this one is just for you. 1, 2, and 3. Wonderful. And sleep. Drifting down deeper and deeper, drifting. When you hear me and me alone snap my fingers and count to 3, you're going to find that for some reason there's a problem with the thermostat and the room that you're in, and it's going to get excessively hot. I mean, like Africa hot, like where you're starting to perspire hot. And there's no way that you can get to that thermostat. You're in that chair. Only when I count to 3, you're going to feel that it's excessively hot. And I want you to imagine what that would feel like. How would that manifest itself with your hair against the neck or the clothing against your skin? 1, 2, and 3. It is hot. It is very, very hot. And as a result, right, you've got the hair against the back of your neck. Right, you may have to fan yourself. Right, the clothing is sticking to you, and you can feel that it's getting warmer, warmer, and warmer still. Right? There's almost nothing you can do about that. I know, fan yourself. Sure, you've got to loosen the shirt on yourself like that. Oh, good. Wait a second. Something's fixed. It's cooling off. Oh, wait, that's a bitter chill. It's like the air conditioner is on full blast. It's almost freezing in here now. Oh, and and you're in short sleeves, and it's just way too cold. And you can imagine yourself, yes, what would you do to warm yourself in that spot right now? What would you do at this immediate moment? It's colder still. And sleep all the way down. No more temperature. So reach out. Let me give you your favorite lollipop. Take the lollipop by the stick over here. And when you hear me and me alone snap my fingers and count to 3, I want you to put the lollipop in your mouth. I want you to enjoy the flavor of that lollipop like you haven't enjoyed a lollipop in a long time. 1, 2, and 3. Enjoy that lollipop. And really feel it against your tongue. Really, I want you to experience, maybe when was the last time you even enjoyed a lollipop like that? Was it when you were a child? Was it last Halloween? When was the last time you enjoyed something like that? And it tastes so good, right? Twice as good now. Rose, what flavor are you tasting right now?
The chocolate Tootsie Pop.
Chocolate Tootsie Pop, a personal favorite of mine. Daphne, what flavor are you experiencing right now?
Sour apple blow pop.
Sour apple blow pop. Seagull, what are you imagining you taste right now?
Cherry.
Cherry. Louis, what are you tasting right now?
Grape.
Grape. Right. Oh, careful, guys. It's kind of, you're drooling a little bit over there. It's starting to run down. Yeah. It's kind of, the stick, it's kind of coming down onto your fingers. You know how that gets a little sticky over there? Oh, yeah. I don't know what happened there. It's getting a little bit looser, a little bit runnier. Yeah, I know, but you got it all over your hands like that. Really enjoy that. Oh, wait a second. Somebody played a practical joke on us over here. That's not your favorite flavor. Only when you hear me and me alone snap my fingers and count to 3, that's going to be the worst flavor that you could possibly imagine. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, what were they thinking? What did they put in the middle of that pop? That is not the way to. Yeah, you can't get it off your tongue. You can't get it off your fingers. Don't worry, you're not going to get sick, Louis. But it's just, it's almost. Oh, it's terrible. It's getting twice as bad. Oh, how could they possibly package that? You're not going to get sick, Rose, but it's twice as bad. Oh, that's awful. You can't get it. Oh, and it smells terrible. Oh, that's terrible. And sleep all the way. I'm going to bring you up on the count of 3 for a brief moment. You will have absolutely no recollection of experiencing any of this. In fact, you will be convinced that the only thing that we have tried are some deep breathing exercises. If asked, you will be convinced that you are not hypnotized, nor have you any recollection of experiencing any of the sights or smells or sounds or tastes that we have experienced. In fact, if I were to press you and tell you you have been hypnotized, you would be rather insistent that there is no way the show has started yet. Please nod if you understand me. Good. I'm going to bring everybody up on the count of 1, 2, and 3. Eyes open. Find your spot. Deep breath in. Exhale all the way out. Sigal, how do you feel right now at this immediate moment?
Good.
You feel pretty good, Louis? You feel pretty good?
Yeah, fine.
You feel ready to try this?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You don't feel hypnotized yet, though. Is that correct?
No, I'm not a very good subject.
No, and that'll happen sometimes, right? Sigal, do you think that Louis could be a pretty good subject if given the opportunity?
I don't know. He's been kicked off the stage a few times. I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit of a challenge over there. Sigal, would you try something with me now? Would you hold one finger up like this? Would you shake it violently just like that? When you touch Lewis on the forehead, Lewis is going to drift right off to sleep. I know that sounds silly. Lewis, just drift deeper and deeper. Lewis, you will have no recollection of that happening, or when you wake up, you will have no memory of it whatsoever. In fact, if I tell you it happened, you'll believe that I'm just teasing you. 1, 2, and 3. Lewis, eyes open, eyes on your spot. Deep breath in, exhale all the way out. Lewis, you were saying that you don't think you're a very good hypnotic subject. Is that right? Tonight just might not be your night?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good in stage shows.
And I would understand our feeling that way under different circumstances. I do believe that. I'm hoping that at some level it will feel a little bit more comfortable, maybe in the confines of your own home, that you'll feel some sense of comfort and a willingness to release and relax with this. Let's try something. I'm going to ask you guys is each of you comfortably able to reach out and touch your screen, or is it too far from you? Sigal, are you able to touch your screen, or is it too far from you?
I can touch it.
So if I were to touch over here, you'd be able to practically touch my finger. Is that right? And
Yeah.
Daphne, you'd be able to do that too if I needed you to? Rose, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you what, we're going to try something. There's no way of knowing if this is going to work, but on the count of 3, I'm going to reach forward and touch towards the screen. When you guys reach forward and touch my finger on the screen, it's going to give you a sense of releasing, relaxing. You're going to drift right off to sleep. 1, 2, and 3. Touch my finger on the screen and just drift all the way off. Just allow it to happen. Eyes closed, the muscles in the face and the body releasing and relaxing. With no memory that this has happened at all, let's try something. Let us ask Lewis, when I bring you up, when I bring everybody up, Lewis, you're going to experience having forgotten your own name. You will have absolutely no recollection of your own name. It is gone from your memory. And the harder you try to remember your name, the more impossible it will be for you to recall your own name. Lewis, please nod if you understand me. Very good. Sigal, you are going to speak your own form of gibberish. It will make complete sense to you, but it absolutely is a language that you have made up all on your own. Please nod if you understand. Very good. Rose, when you hear me, in fact, you know what, Rose? You're going to, the number 6 is gone from you, Rose. The number 6 no longer exists. It never existed. It never did. And when I ask you to count, you would count from 5 up to 7. It would be the most natural thing in the world. So, Rose, the number 6 is gone from you. Sigal, you're going to be speaking your own form of gibberish. Lewis, you have absolutely no recognition of your own name, no ability to recall or retrieve it. I'm going to bring everybody up on the count of 3, and you will be completely aware of having a conversation with me, but you will have no recollection of my giving you this hypnotic suggestion, but you will follow it like it is your instant reality. Please nod if you understand. And you'll have no memory of being hypnotized. 1, 2, and 3. Eyes open, deep breath in, find your spot. Exhale all the way out. And again, deep breath in. Chair is always supporting you. Exhale all the way out. Now, I have to say that I do have some people who are my audience, and I have some people who are my subjects. I want to thank all of you for attending. Sigal, if you would be kind enough, you're sitting with somebody. Would you please have him introduce himself by telling us first, could he please tell us the street only that he lives on? Could you tell us the street that you live on?
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah.
I'll just answer your question.
Please.
Beach Street.
Beach Street. You live on Beach Street.
Yeah.
Good. And I'm sorry, the woman next to you is your wife?
Yeah.
And her name is?
Sigal.
Sigal. And of course, your name is?
Yeah, I'm her husband.
Right. And I'm sorry, you told me you live on Beach Street.
Right.
Can you tell me what town? You live in what town?
Elmwood Park.
Elmwood Park, right, okay. And I'm sorry, her name is Sigal, and your name is?
I don't know why that's important.
That's okay. No, that's all right. Sigal, how long have you been married to him?
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm sorry, a little bit louder, because sometimes the laptops don't always pick up.
Blah, blah, blah.
Is that in dog years, or is that in
Blah, blah, blah.
It's a.
Blah, blah, blah.
Is
Blah,
that?
blah, blah.
It's a little hard to. You know what?
Blah,
Sometimes, of
blah,
course.
blah, 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 blah.
Well, let me ask you this. Can you tell me, Seagal, where you guys got married?
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Is that very far from Elmwood Park, or is that?
Blah,
very-
blah, blah, blah,
It-
blah, blah.
Sure.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Where did you grow up?
Blah, blah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Lovely this time of year. I understand. And
Blah, blah, blah.
Rose, you know them. Rose, how long have they been married? Maybe you can help me understand this.
19 years?
19 years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind, Rose, there are some basics that we count on, right? There's some immutable laws that we count on. We need to be able to recognize people like, the man who mistook his wife for a hat, right? We read this and we go, how is that possible? So there are certain things that are just immutable. Water is wet. Numbers are sequential. Would you do me a favor? I'd like you to hold up your hands like this, and just one at a time. You'll start all the way at the end there, and I just need you to count off your fingers. We're going to designate a number for each one. Would you be kind enough to count nice and loud as you touch each one? Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I'm sorry. Let's try that again. I'm going to do that again. I'm sorry. Start all the way over at the end. Just start with the pinky. And we're going to.
I'm going to start on this side this time.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
11. Well, you know what might be easier? You can see my hands on the screen over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just need you to point to each one of mine and count them off, if you wouldn't mind. Okay. So you can start. I guess all the way over here, and just go ahead, count. It's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
I guess we have a lot in common, you and I. This is Seagal. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
I don't know what you're talking about. Blah, 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 blah.
And I'm just curious, Seagal. When you what kind of car do you drive?
Oh, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and what year is that car?
Blah, blah, bloop, boop.
That was a good year
Blah, blah.
for that. Yeah, and I'm sorry, you're sitting next to Seagal. I know it's a little bit of a challenge. Maybe I can hear you. What was her maiden name?
Her maiden name, Parakalski.
And I'm sorry, your first name is?
Yeah,
We'll get to that. Don't worry about that. I'll tell you what. Do me a favor, guys. I just need you to watch me here on the screen. You'll notice I'm drawing a circle over here, right? And you'll find that as I start to slow down, your eyes start to get heavier and heavier. Sleep. Drift down deeper and deeper. We're going to bring everybody up about this point. And before we do, I'm going to give everybody else in our gallery over here a chance to applaud for the people who've been able to extend their memory and their imagination for us this evening. So when I bring you guys up on the count of 3, a few things. Number 1, you will have no recollection of the show having even started until you hear me say the word toilet paper. When you hear me and me alone say the word toilet paper, all of a sudden every memory of the show is going to come rushing back to you. You'll remember forgetting how to count or how to speak or remembering your own name. You'll remember the flavors that were both wonderful and awful, the temperature changes, but not until then. When you hear me and me alone, and when you hear me say my name, Mark, when you hear me and me alone say my name, Mark, you guys are going to fist pump the air, fist pump the room, and you are going to shout out at the top of your lungs, "He's the man!" So we're going to bring you guys up on the count of 5. Please sit with your feet flat on the floor and your backs against the chair. And as I bring you up, you're going to come up slowly and comfortably. 1, I want you to sit up and take a long, slow, deep breath in. every other suggestion is wiped out, you will remember how to count. You will remember your name. You'll remember how to speak English. 2, take a long, slow, deep breath in, and as you exhale, get ready to join us in your room here. 3, be prepared to feel renewed, refreshed, revitalized, and face the rest of the evening. 4, you are going to feel like you have had a 2-hour nap after this, so you are going to face the rest of the evening with a vigor that you will genuinely appreciate, although you'll have no memory of this show until you hear me say the word toilet paper. And 5, eyes open, deep breath in, exhale all the way out, deep breath all the way in, and exhale all the way out. Guys, I want to thank you for attempting this experiment with me tonight. Regrettably, time does not permit me to try a lot of things over here, and so I hope that you understand that. But I do want to say thank you for scheduling just a little bit of time out of your evening. Perhaps next time we can try where we actually try some hypnotic trances and some suggestions. And I'm sorry, Sigal, I never got the chance to ask you, what town do you live in?
Elmwood Park.
Elmwood Park, right. And what do you do for a living?
Right now I'm in between jobs.
In between jobs, but do you drive?
You know, let me know.
Do you drive?
Yeah,
What car do you drive?
I have a Toyota Corolla.
Toyota Corolla, sure. That's a nice car. And I'm sorry, your husband's name. I'm sorry, sir. What's your name again?
Yeah, I'm Louis.
Louis. Do you ever go by Lou or Louis, or is it strictly Louis, the formal?
Mostly Louis.
Mostly Louis. Is that a given name? Is that like from your father? Was named Louis also?
It's
or?
my great-grandfather, I guess.
Great-grandfather. So sure. And Rose, can you do me a favor? I know this sounds silly, but I do need a little bit of help over here. We have some screens that are active in our gallery. Could you just touch each one and count it and tell me how many screens? Like your screen number 1. Would you just do that for me, Rose?
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Right,
8.
We have one that's Tom Kennedy, which is kind of bars over there.
Yeah.
Mine that is a static picture. But so you counted as many as 8. But we have how many that are live right now?
6.
6. Yeah. That which I think equates to a good number of people who are willing to try something. You guys don't feel hypnotized at all, though. Is that a fair comment, Rose?
Mm,
You feel relaxed, perhaps?
I mean, I guess so.
Yeah. Sigal, do you feel hypnotized in any way, or pretty, or kind of keyed up, or relaxed? Can you?
I'm waiting for you to start.
And under different circumstances, I would. I think I may have explained to you guys that I have a little something that I have to get to, so I do need to change. I'm going to go get dressed for that. And Louis, do you think that there's a time that you might be more susceptible to hypnosis at some time if we tried on another night?
I could try. I'm very easily distracted.
Yeah, so it's not the type of thing that would necessarily work for you. Is that a fair comment?
Stage is a little bit tricky for me.
And so, just your willingness to show up and try this, I think, is something that is really all that I could ask for. But you guys have no recollection of anything other than doing some deep breathing with me. Is that right? And maybe a little comforting, right? So let me ask you something. When we had this whole rush during the pandemic, were you guys storing up things like hand sanitizer?
Yeah, well, she wins.
Not really. Okay,
Running out, were you getting rubber gloves?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got to ask you, because there was a big run for months in the supermarkets over here. Were you guys running out and storehousing toilet paper?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
What's happening, Sigal? What do you remember?
He forgot his name.
Yeah?
And I was looking at Cherry Lollipop. But she couldn't count.
And you couldn't talk.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying?
You guys were wonderful for volunteering your time tonight. I'm going to say thank you to Rose. I'm going to say thank you to Daphne. I'm going to say thank you to Sigal and Louis. Bob, thank you so much. Patty and Mike, thank you for joining me over here. Should anybody ask, I want you guys to say, you know what? We had the chance tonight to see Mark.
He's the
He's the
man.
Ooh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys live and in person soon. To everybody who showed up tonight, thank you for allowing me to try something with you over here again. Again, thank you, everybody. My name is Mark.
He's the man.
He's the man.
Thank you very much. Good night, all.